Way to put in a border. This is the easiest way to put in a border. It's a border that may have a corner element to it. It's not one that you're taking a border, two border patterns and kind of button up to make its own border. You'll see what I mean in a minute. First, let's go ahead and design a quilt. We're going to start new. Remember, a pantograph pattern is what we need to use for a border because it's a repeatable pattern. So we're going to click on pantograph. Let's go ahead and enter this manually. We're off the quilt right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just fill in what my borders are. And let's go ahead and use my flower feather border. That seems to be a good one to demonstrate with. Okay, there it is. Now, as you can see, this doesn't really fit in there all that great. With 55 inches, I'm not sure exactly what the default on each repeat is, but it's not looking too good in my opinion. What I would do here is, there's two different things you can do. You can either go back and clip out some of these extra areas in here and then stretch it or change the measurement on it. But I think the easiest thing to do is this new clip off feature. If you click that, what it will do is it will put however many full repeats will fit in that space, and then if there's another one that won't quite fit, it'll just chop it off. And normally that works pretty well. You can kind of look at it and see if you're going to be able to stretch that without distorting it too much. I think with this pattern we're going to be able to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that pattern. I'm going to modify the pattern. And since I know that that's 55 inches, all I really need to do is change this width to 55. And it pretty much fits in there. Of course, we have to move it. And I think if I go ahead and center, I think that's the center of the pattern, so if I go ahead and center that right to the center snap, that fits in pretty good. And I don't think that distorted it too much, so I would probably leave it as that. Now we want to add a vertical pattern. And normally what I do when I'm adding a vertical pattern, I go ahead and mock up a block the same size as the vertical pattern, but I do it horizontally and then fill my border in horizontally. Because if you do it vertically, what happens is if you have your block and you're trying to put a border in vertically, it will want to go horizontally and you'll get a bunch of rows instead of a nice flowing border. So the easiest way I do this, let's say this is a square quilt. To make it simple, we're just going to go ahead and copy that block. I'm going to copy the block, and then I'm just going to rotate it 90 degrees. Oops, there it is. And then I'm going to move it, and of course we can use our little snaps, and it just snaps right on there. Finish that out, and instead of going through the process of putting that border in, I'm just going to take this border and copy it. Copy that pattern right onto it. Okay, there we've got a copy of it. Remember, we need to rotate it. Let's go ahead and rotate it first and then move it, and I think I can just take my center and snap it right in there, and that's pretty much all there is to it. And remember, this is how you would fit in a border where you have another element to go in here. If you want to add another element, which I'm not sure I have an element to go in there, but I'll just show you how to go ahead and add a block. If you want to add a block, we know that the block, the little square, that was 5 inches and that was 5 inches. So I'm just going to enter a little 5 by 5 square. Okay, here it is. It's up here. Now we want to modify it. We want to move it. So all we have to do is select it and move it, and here again we can snap it right up there. You don't always have to have a block up there to put a pattern. If you want to put a block so you can see where the pattern's going, and here now you're able to just go ahead and add another pattern. I actually don't have an element to go in there. I guess I could put just a single flower in there, but I just wanted to show you a way that you add this type of border.